Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Siti Mardia binti Siton, metric number 71609. Okay, today I will talk about natural disaster in our country, Malaysia, which is floods. As we know, a flood is an overflow of water that submerges land that is usually dry. In the sense of flowing water, the word may also be applied to the inflow of the tide. Floods are considered second only to wildfires as the most common natural disaster on earth. Generally, Malaysia is also a country that is prone to floods. Among the states that are always severely affected are the states of Pahang, Johor, and Sabah, which is Sabah is my own state. Pahang. Pahang is one of the states most severely affected by the floods in January 2021. According to Daily News, the massive floods that have hit the state since last week have drowned most of the settlements, with water rising above the roof level of the building. Okay, next, Johor. Johor is also one of the states most severely affected by the floods that hit the states in early January 2021. According to Daily News 2021. According to Daily News, the massive floods that have hit the state since last week have drowned most of the settlements, with water rising above the roof level of the building. Okay, next, Johor. Johor is also one of the states most severely affected by the floods that hit the states in early January 2021. According to Daily News, the chairman of the State Health and Environment Committee, Arvid Yanantan, said 5 districts are now affected by the second wave of floods in the states, which is Kota Tinggi, Johor Bahru, Segamat, Mersing, and Kulai. Not only that, he said Kota Tinggi was the most affected district, with floods victims soaring to 1,848 people from 492 families. The last state is Sabah. Sabah is also a state that is prone to floods. Among the districts severely affected by the recent floods are Kudat, Kota Marudu, and Pitas. The number of flood victims increased to 1,680 from 507. That's all among the locations where floods occur frequently in Malaysia. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Suharni, and today I will present about why and how it occurs. Many factors that influence floods, among them are: firstly, because of urbanization process. The process of urbanization results in many modernized areas. Lowland areas have been redeemed by taking land from hilly areas. There are also tributaries that are approved to be used as building sites. Many open spaces are cemented for trade activities, leisure, and so on. So the water is not absorbed absorbed by the earth. Activities like this are a factor in causing floods. If in the past the tributaries and valleys are used as water flows area, now has been covered with soil. With it rains, water will flow from the hills to the lowlands and then stagnate. Eventually, the water will increase and floods will occur. Secondly is because of river deposition and river erosion. Frequent river erosion is caused by two factors, namely natural erosion and human waste disposal. Natural factors occur when it rains heavily, water will flow rapidly and erode the river banks. Eventually, the cliff soil will collapse and form a sediment and at the bottom of the river. Next, the river will be shallow. Similarly, human activities that like domestic waste such as garbage and industrial waste into the river can cause the river to become shallow and airflow to be blocked. When heavy rains fall, rivers that have become shallow due to natural erosion or pollution cannot accommodate or drain abundant rainwater. Eventually, the river water will overflow to the cliff, and with this flood will occur. The last but not least, because of drainage system is not planned, not maintained, and not perfect. The problem of floods that often hit the city is due to the lack of drainage system built and too small and shallow. The large amount of water causes water to overflow to the ditch, causing floods to overflow from the ditch, causing flash floods to occur. Many drainage systems are damaged, collapsed, and not cleaned, especially in city place. That's all from me, and thank you.
Hi, I am Fatin Shahramidi Taib. I am the next presenter and I would like to present the next point of our presentation, which is how it occurs. Flood can occur in flat areas and low-lying areas. This is because the rate of water supplied by rain in an area is very high. Excess water accumulated will cause the soil surface to become saturated. This will make the accumulated excess water difficult to absorb into the soil. Water absorption is also slow to occur on paved surface in areas of frozen soil, rock and concrete. Flood often occur due to overflow of water from reservoirs of water from rivers, lakes, and the oceans. Floods may also occur in flat area because the flow of water depends on the slope of a surface. Okay, some flood occurs slowly and some also occur suddenly, such like which is flash flood that occurs in the states of the peninsula now. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
For example, the natural disaster that occur in Pahang on 3rd January 2021. There were very bad words occur floods in Pahang when 67 temporary evacuation centers were opened in 9 districts. This is because of the increase in river water level, which is very close to the level of danger due to the very high amounts of rainfall compared to normal conditions. Because of that, residents living in low areas, especially houses close to the river, will be evacuated to a safer place, which is the temporary evacuation center. In addition, this disaster occurred very fast because of strong northeast wind, speeding at 50 until 60 km per hour. We have reached the height of 4.5 meter. Moreover, people at Johor also experienced severe flooding. There were victims be transferred. This was second wave of flood that occurred in Johor that required 38 relief centers to be opened. Kota Tinggi, one of the districts that most severely affected, which involved 1,848 victims, followed by Johor Bahru, Segamat, Kulai, and Mersing. As a few of states in peninsular Malaysia show signs of recovery, the land below the wind, which is Sabah, also encountered the flood disaster. Heavy rain since last Sunday forced the first batch victims to be transferred to the relief center. That's all. Thank you.
My name is Eli Fazlin binti Zakali. My part is why the flood is dangerous. Flooding is the Malaysia most frequent and devastating natural disaster. Despite this, many people still don't understand just how dangerous floods are. And communities are devastated not just by damage but also by loss of life. There are three dangers. First, dangers of flood water for people. Flood cause water to move very fast and water to rise. Many people underestimate the power of flowing water and they are careless. Never enter flood water because we will drown or be carried away by the current of water. Second, flood danger for car and vehicle. Drowning in vehicle account for all flood-related deaths. People incorrectly assume that a car is heavy enough not to flood, but it happens much more easily than you expect. Most deaths in this instance are actually caused by drowning. Once the vehicle is caught in flowing water, it often ends up in deeper water, which may be enough to fully submerge the car and drown the people inside. Last, heat danger of flood water. Flood water is teeming with dangerous bacteria and contaminants which can lead to sickness and disease. Even if you can see any evidence within the water itself, you should always assume that water is contaminated. If you become unwell after entering flood water, seek medical advice immediately. That's all from us. Thank you.